Hello and welcome to the Crypto Conspiracy. This is Luke's coming to you live with Canada the Great. And today we're going to talk about how you are a zombie already. Are you a zombie? You might not be a zombie. You might be like Kevin James living off the grid, but most of us are live like zombies. And welcome, Canada, my man.
I'm not no zombie.
That's right. That's why you're here. Most people that actually find most people that actually find pirate and Komodo, they're not zombies. They because they found it. I mean, you wouldn't have been able to find it if you weren't looking for freedom in some way, shape or form. You went out there, you researched, and you found it. Uh, Even if you just found it from a post, interest in that post is what took you there. So, congratulations. Uh, so, yeah, you're a zombie, guys. And and a lot of you will say, "Oh, that's ridiculous. Okay? I'm not a zombie," but you are. Because you just keep repeating and doing the same things that other people want you to do, right? So you may not think that other people are forcing you to do it, but they are, uh, and they do it in the form of bills and taxation, right? Uh, if you work hard and you make a few extra bucks, get a bonus or a raise at your job, right? What's the point when the taxes keep going up and everything you buy keeps going up in value, right? In eggs right now, 12 eggs are $12 for really good organic eggs. Uh, you know, so what happens is that it's even if you do make a raise and get a raise, it's pointless. Pointless. You already spent it without even knowing because the prices keep going up. The prices actually have never gone down. Go ahead, keep voting. Keep voting for prices never to come down. And the problem is the tokenomics of fiat, right? How many of you understand the tokenomics of fiat? You have a never-ending printing system, so no matter how much money you make, it don't matter. Because somebody on the other end is printing more and more money. It never stops. Never, so it's essentially like trying to mine a coin that has constant inflation and is spitting out new coins every minute, literally on the blockchain. And you're trying to keep up and trying to mine more and more coins, but the supply just keeps growing and growing to ridiculous amounts. And I could give you an example of that. There was a coin called Supra coin, right? Supra. That was that someone told me about a month ago. And he's like, "Oh, it's going to be huge. It's bigger than Ethereum, right?" And I look at it and I look at the tokenomics of this thing, right? Dude, there's billions, there's so many freaking coins. And it's spitting out coins like crazy. And then their excuse is, "Oh, don't worry, those coins are gonna get locked up." They have some type of scheme where you can lock up the coins and get more coins for locking it up. But if you pull it out early, you lose coins. So but when you see what they're not thinking about is that when those people unlock those coins or pull them out early, what happens? Yeah, they sell them all. They sell them into the ground, right? So now that looking at the chart now and back then, I was right. You see, it's because it's all about the amount of coins and the demand of people that want those coins, right? That's essentially what every chain comes down to is the amount of coins it has and the demand to upkeep the inflation of that coin, right? The constant pumping of coins. So,
Because Captain,
yes,
the
sir.
more the coins a project has, the less value each coin will be.
Right. Well, if it has a finite supply, at least at some point that coin will be deflationary, right? Because once that supply ends, the the coin that you hold in your pocket will start moving up in value on its own. because no one's inflating, no new coins are getting made. And then you have the natural deflationary effect of people losing their coins, right? And that happens all the time. So, every day somebody loses their wallet of coins, however many they may be. That's it. Those are lost forever. No one's making those coins again. And there are some chains out there that will try to convince you, oh, we need a little bit of inflation, like Monero. We need a little bit just to, uh, add back to the supply because people lose their coins. Whenever you hear people say that, guys, that's bullshit. Right? Somebody loses their coins, it's not your fault. Right? That's their fault. You should have backed up your wallet. You should have three backups, at least three of your wallet. And leave the backup with somebody that you trust. So just in case your house burns down, it's not in the house. And so uh, it's your responsibility. It's up to you. It's like the Wild West back in the day, where a cowboy, hold on a second, give me 1 second. Yo, Kana, take it away, man. Uh,
Yeah.
I got something to do. Give me 1 second.
Self-reflection. That's what Captain's talking about today. Being a zombie. If you don't have any self-reflection, then yeah, you're a zombie. We got to constantly be checking ourselves. I grew up in the '80s and '90s, so everybody heard that song. You better check yourself before you wreck yourself. You gotta check yourself. See if you're a zombie. See if you're critically thinking or if you're going with the flow. It's real easy to get caught up in the mob mentality. Where did the captain go?
Sorry about that. There's somebody at my door. I had to at least point my arrows at him. All right, so I'm back. Sorry about that. And where was I at, bro? All right, so we're talking about zombies today, guys. How you are a zombie, and basically how you are a slave. Because slaves are like zombies. They just walk around going, "Rrr, rrr," and they do the same thing every day. And that's part of the problem. You're not allowed to do what you want to do, so you do what you're told to do because that's what you're allowed to do. Uh, we taxation is one way that they put you down. There are some people, unfortunately, in the military. They're definitely slaves. There's some countries, well, not here necessarily, but some countries that are, they require at a certain age that kids enter the military. Uh, that limits their personal freedom of choice, right? Uh, there's compulsory education. Even though it's beneficial, mandatory schooling restricts child's freedom to learn in alternative ways at their own pace, right, guys? Not every child learns the same. But me, I personally believe, when a kid is young, you gotta really push, you gotta push them to learn things because at that age, that's when they can learn almost everything, way faster than us old people, right? So definitely push education on them, but don't let anybody else push their education on your children. Uh, you know, we spoke about voting, right? How else are you a slave? Are you zombie? Do you vote every year? They voted on the Jones plantation, right? Are you a slave? Ask yourself. Ask yourself if voting ever made a difference.
Yeah, it just came out. It just came out that the 2020 election was really rigged and stolen.
Yeah, we know that.
The Department of Justice is issuing all kinds of shit right now on that. It just came out
Yeah,
last week or so.
and that shows how not valid that system is, right? How invalid that system is. If it could break like that and be compromised like that, it's not a good system. You got to tell yourself that it's
Yeah,
not a
there.
good system.
Hey, Captain, there's no telling how long it's been since the people have actually chosen their representatives. There's no telling how long they've been doing
Correct,
what they
and
just got busted doing.
yeah, correct. And it's not just the voting thing. It's the fact that every politician that becomes a candidate for presidency, they got millions, billions of dollars. These people, it's not a fair vote. They got enough money to go on these mainstream medias. They got the BlackRock supporting them and all these big corporations, right? Throwing them millions and
Yep.
billions of dollars, right? If I wanted to be a president, right? Let's say I was president and I wanted to be president, I would have no chance in hell. Nobody has a chance in hell. So that's all controlled. That's not a system. That's not a fair system. You know what? All these candidates, all these presidential candidates should be required to spend $0. Zero. Zero on their nothing. They shouldn't spend no money. Go around and get people to like you naturally. Go door to door. I don't give a shit. But don't be spending money, our tax money, to get your advertisement on TV. Right? We don't care. We don't care to spend our money on your candidates. Right? But that's where all your inflated money goes, guys. You wonder where all this money they inflate goes. It goes right back to that 1%, and that 1% spends it on president. It, they 90. What are they called? The 1%ers. They got the 1% is 99% of all the money in the world.
Hey, Captain, I
Yes.
got a litmus test for if you're a zombie or not.
How's that
You
look?
have to if you if you don't understand that right now the systems that are set up where we trade our valuable labor and our time for worthless fiat, then you're a slave. If you don't understand that, you're a slave.
And well, and that's why, guys. I always tell all my family members, don't ever put all your money
Oh,
in the bank. Don't ever do that. Right? If you still use a bank. Only put in there what you need to do your business, and
oh
that's it.
I speaking of the banks, it just came out yesterday that the banks have requested $50 billion in cash just this month for because the government shutdown is the government's not issuing um, direct deposits and all the contractors and and just everything that it pays on a monthly basis, Captain. They're saying that that's a real big problem about to happen.
Yep,
The government shut down, and they're not shooting out all these direct deposits, and so all these people are not getting this money, and all these bills are not being able to get paid. And on top of that, the bills, a lot of bills weren't getting paid to begin with. So the experts are saying that November 1st is supposed to be a real interesting time concerning the banks.
look, we don't need banks anymore. They're
I know.
struggling. They're struggling to stay alive. Don't you see what's happening? That's what the CBDC thing is all about. Is a bank struggle. That should be the title. A bank struggle to stay alive, right? Because they see
Hey, check,
they saw long ago
hey,
that
check this out.
Bitcoin was going to take over. Yep.
Hey, check this out, Captain. You know the 2008 housing crisis that the government decided to do a bank bailout. You remember that shit?
Yeah, yeah. They, they,
Guess
yeah,
what?
they bailed out all their friends. Yeah.
We finally got right. Well, we
I didn't
finally
get
got
a
the
bailout.
price tag of that. Hey, we finally got the price tag of all that, and guess what? The price tag of bailing the banks out in 2008 housing crisis was $14 trillion, Captain.
Yeah,
$14 trillion was that is what they meant every time that they said bank bailout, bank bailout.
yeah,
That's insane.
yeah. That's that's your tax. You paying your taxes, guys. Yeah. Because it's going to these assholes. Uh, yeah, that's if you don't see the corruption by now, I really there's really no helping you. Um,
You're a zombie. I
yeah,
hate
you're a
to, but
zombie. If you
it's
can't
not a
see it, you're
permanent
a
state
zombie,
though,
bro.
guys. Being
100%.
a zombie is not a permanent state. You can
Absolutely
cure
not.
yourself
I was once a zombie. I
by
was once a
reading.
zombie. Everybody was at some
Reading.
point. Yeah,
I
research,
recommend you read. Yeah,
health.
read everything you get your hands on.
You know, if you take healthcare services from the government, you know, you're once again you are a zombie, right? Because they are telling you how to. They're mandating your health. They kind of force you to use their medications, their options, their if you wanted something that was not in their list of options, that's not an option, right? So that's how there's no freedom
Control.
of choice in your health anymore, right? So once you depend on this health insurance or these healthcare programs or whatever the hell you got, uh, that's it. You got no freedom to move outside that regimen that they made for you, right? Which is not there necessarily to help you. It's to line their pockets with money. Uh, and you're talking to somebody who used to work there. Okay, so next, labor laws. While protecting workers, labor laws can also limit the freedom of employees and employees to negotiate terms and employment freely. And so, yeah, when you're employed by these corporations, uh, I wouldn't say that about mom and pop shops. If you're a private business, congratulations. You should be divorcing the District of Columbia. You should not be a 14th Amendment citizen if you own your own business. But if you are, there is a process. You can go to destinationfreedom.com and learn how to do that if you are your own boss. But that aside, uh, if you work for these corporations, right off the bat you're a slave to them. I don't have to tell you my history. If you know me, you know my history with these companies. I've worked for Fortune 30 companies. I've worked for the biggest ISPs out there, Verizon, Optimum Online. So I could tell you right from the horse's mouth that these companies, once you start working for them, uh, they
You're
have a
trapped.
yeah. You're basically a slave. You're not coming out of their world. But when you own your own business, you make your world, right? Let's say you're a baker, and you want to make more money, right? Hey, you know what? I'm gonna make a load of buttercream cakes today and sell it, right? With the real butter, not lard, right? And it's gonna melt in your mouth like candy. You're just gonna dissolve. It's gonna taste so freaking good, right? And I'm gonna sell those today, right? I have that option, right? But when you work for a corporation, you got no options. There's no way to make your company better without asking 10 other people above you and then putting in requests and blah 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 and blah blah. There's no. That's why those companies can never improve at the rate a private business can. So keep that in mind. And the way we win again, the way we win is by introducing quality back into the environment, right? Because that's what we have lost. We have lost quality of food, quality of services. I mean, they don't even want to give you a goddamn bag anymore when you go to the supermarket. It's like it's not about you anymore. You see, it used to be the customer was like the most important, right? Customer's always right. Now the customer is always wrong. How did that change? That's your fault because you did not demand it. You did not say, "Hey, where's my
Well, we have
goddamn bag? I just bought $200 worth of shit. I don't get a freaking plastic bag to put it in."
Sam's and Costco's gives you a box.
Yeah, they give you their fucking garbage so they don't have to throw it in the garbage.
So you carry off the trash. That's exactly it.
Genius. Take home our garbage with you.
It's because we put up with so much shit, Captain. Seriously, think about it. We put up with a bunch of shit. They come up with the craziest
Yeah, and it's our fault.
policies,
And it's our fault.
and we put up with it.
It's
You
our
know,
fault. Because nobody knows how to say no anymore. Nobody knows how to demand things anymore. right? Nobody knows how
Well,
to
it's
use
at well,
bulldog.
I think I think it's this problem is at a systematic a level. It's a system that it is, and everybody else is just like us. You know, we're freaking helpless to change everything other than what we're doing and trying to educate people and bringing awareness to it and stuff. But it's the system that needs to be changed, Captain.
Yeah, it does. In all these businesses, that adhere to the compliance, that's time consuming. Right? For a small business owner, that's a lot. That's a lot of time lost. It's costly for a small. A corporation, that's nothing. It's spit in the ocean, right? But before a small business, every little cost is a big difference. It makes it can make or break them. Because these small businesses, they make 60 grand a year, 120 grand a year, and some of them not even making it. That's why that's why if you walk through New York City right now, every store is for rent or for lease. Yeah.
Wow.
There, there's only two blocks like lit up at night now. That's it. New York is dead. We used to have there's so many businesses, unique shops, unique stores, like out the box thinking type of stores. And now
Yeah.
there
How many people, Captain? How many people do you think have left New York in the last 10 years?
tons. You can't afford to live here. Tons, tons. It's impossible.
Tons, huh?
They're giving away you see all those hotels, all those places that are not doing well. They're giving it to the migrants. They're just giving it to them, right? And they're feeding them steaks with your tax dollars. But don't get upset. That's okay, right? Anyway, let's move on. Uh, Regulatory compliance. That costs a lot of money. We just spoke about that. We'll skip that one. So, Social Security, guys, how many bought into the fight? Bought into the Social Security bullshit. I did. Every job I had growing up always took money out for Social Security, right? Did we have a choice? Probably not. Right? Because every time you go from one of those non-consulting jobs, you have no choice. Right? They put you on in their system, and automatically they start pulling out all this money. So you really think you're gonna get Social Security? Maybe they'll give it to you in Bitcoin by then. You know?
If you do get any Social Security, it's just going to be a little bit. It's not going to be able to sustain you.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
you're not you're
just
not
like
taking a vacation on that money.
yeah, just like all this inflation that we've experienced it for the past 4 or 5 years now. Prices have just went sky high. Just think about all the older dudes that worked their ass off and saved and retired, and now as soon as they get to their retirement age, the prices start jacking up 400, 500, 600%, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
they're just their little bitty old retirement is just getting robbed. The old people are
yeah,
just getting robbed, Cap.
yeah, and that comes down to the amount of coins in the fiat system, right? They keep printing more money out, and these poor guys, they thought that maybe they would retire on like maybe 100 grand or 200 grand, whatever they saved up, and now it's going to be worth nothing. And maybe in 10 years, you have no idea if hyperinflation kicks in, like Zimbabwe, and you got to pay 100 grand for an ice cream cone. The money will be worth nothing. It's all going down. They want Bitcoin. They want the Bitcoin to be the new money. If you haven't noticed, that's where they're pushing you because it's easily
So it
surveilled.
going down right now. Hey, Bitcoin going down right now. What does that tell you then? What are they doing? Taking it down like that?
They bought it at 50, 60,000. Of course, it's going to come down. BlackRock was buying it at 60,000 billion. There's so many. They got
Oh,
they're making plenty of money. They're going to keep it. They're going to keep it as high as possible so that they can keep selling now. They're going to keep convincing you to buy it so that they can keep selling. That's how it works at this part, at this phase. You don't think that Bitcoin could go back down to 60,000? You're out of your mind. You obviously don't know the history of Bitcoin. Because if you look at the history of Bitcoin, it did go up to, what was it, 65K? And then it went back down to 15,000. You don't think that can happen again? Come on. Come on. You're lying to yourself. Because that can happen at any moment. Where are you and why is that happening? Because it's being manipulated now. It's ETFs, wrapped coins. You think Bitcoin only has 21 million coins? Hell no. When you create the ETF, you've essentially duplicated the supply. Now you've got 42 million coins. When you wrap the
Oh yeah.
when you wrap Bitcoin and you create a wrapped Bitcoin, you've essentially created another duplicate of that supply, and now you have 60, what is it, 63 million coins now,
Uh-huh.
64. So I mean, think about it. It does not have a finite supply. All right, you say technically it does on the main coin, but when you start duplicating the coin on all these other systems, Solana, Binance, blah blah blah. You got millions of coins. You got so many more coins out there than you even, because people are actually trading paper money, right? They're doing what they did to silver to Bitcoin. That's what they're doing. They are suppressing
Every
the crap
fork
out
comes
of it.
with 21 million.
Correct.
Every Bitcoin fork comes with 21 million.
Yep. So just keep adding. Just keep totaling it up. 'Cause every time they make a fork of Bitcoin, a wrapped version of Bitcoin, or they create an ETF or a futures market, or whatever. I don't play those games with the futures markets, but a lot of you just lost your ass on it, and I hope you learned your lesson. Don't ever leverage, right? Don't ever use money you don't got. It's kind of like a rule in life, I think, but most people don't. They like those credit cards, man, and that's how you get yourself in trouble, by using money you don't have. That's how people own you. That's how you lose your freedom. Um, and so censorship governments restrict freedom of speech by controlling your access to shared things, right? So that's a form of censorship. So if you buy a game, or back in the day, when my father's age, he used to buy movies, right? We used to rent them, and then, well, he used to rent them. But if you bought a movie, you couldn't duplicate it, right? It was against the law. And if you buy a game these days, you can't duplicate it. It's against the law, right? Um, but it's yours, but you can't duplicate it. You see what I'm saying here now? It's yours, but you can't make a copy of something that's yours and give it to your friend, right? You can't do that, right? But that don't make any sense because it's yours. It's supposed to be yours. Get it? Censor. So, but there's a lot more examples of censorship. We got social media censorship. That's a bigger problem. We got YouTube censored, right? With videos where if you say a certain thing in the video, it doesn't get uploaded, or if you use a certain song, or there's no more freedom, right? There's no more freedom.
It's
Surve-
insane.
yeah. What other ways are you a zombie? Uh, do do when
You're a
when
zombie.
when zombies are surveilling the earth, do we have to monitor where they are so we don't get eaten?
Yep.
We have to put up right? Checks and balances to where these zombies are located so that we know when they're coming and when they're not, right? Well, guess what? You're the zombie. They are surveilling you. They are monitoring you. The phone in your hand tells them exactly where you are. They know where all the zombies are, guys. That's Get it? You're the zombie.
I've been a zombie before. I'm guilty.
Be, don't let them control you. Don't let them uh, surveil you, monitor you, and it happens through everything you use. The every from your car, the GPS in your car, to to the toll pass that you use in your car as well, to your smartwatch, your smart washing machine, your your money, right? If you use Bitcoin, it's ratting you out. Your credit cards, like everything, everything is surveilling you. You have to start cutting that cord. You have to start thinking about the things you use, right? Like start changing your phone to maybe something like Lineage OS or Graphene OS, so that you have a more private phone, so that all these apps in the phone are not constantly monitoring you and sending your data to advertisement agencies where they make money on you, and your data, gets pushed to all these strangers and is used. Uh, yeah, the criminal justice system. The power to arrest and detain and imprison citizens can be seen as the form of control and restrictions of personal freedom. Um, yeah, so it's something that they do a lot. They will arrest, detain, and imprison you if you're a bad boy. Uh, but unfortunately, they use this as well on good people to stop them from doing good things, right? For example, right, John McAfee, what happened to him? He was trying to tell you, Pirate and Monero was the only way to go, right? He was trying to tell you that the fiat system is dying. He he came out. He told you the truth, and what did they do to him? Right? He mysteriously hung himself in a jail cell. That guy would have never hung
Mysteriously.
himself. Yeah, that guy would have never hung.
The old
He
the
loved
old
life.
hung in the jail cell ploy, huh?
Well, I
Yeah.
have a speculation about that too. I
You
mean,
think he's
I,
alive?
no, I don't think he's alive, but I don't think it was some like government thing. I think it was probably he owed people money in jail, and they realized that he was about to be shipped off to the U.S. and it was going to stiff him. Like I don't
Mhm.
know. I've met McAfee a couple times at different conferences. It's I mean, yeah, he was a nice privacy advocate and stuff, but he was also a bit of an asshole. So I could definitely see him doing that.
Yeah.
Trying to stiff somebody. So um, yeah, I don't know. Take that for what you will. That's just was my personal impression from meeting him a couple times.
Well, he was a pirate, so I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, man. I spoke to him a few times. I had two interviews with him. Uh, he was kind of funny, man. He had whiskey for breakfast. When he called me, he was having breakfast whiskey. Uh, man, we don't have too many people that could do the things that he did back then. He came out in the wild. He told everybody, uh, you know, Bitcoin was going to be huge before it was huge. Uh, and then he told you that Monero and Pirate was going to be huge, right? You take that and you run with it. Everything he said came true so far. But that aside, let's not dwell on John McAfee. God bless wherever
Yeah.
he is. Um, there is also mandatory reporting, guys. Certain professions like teachers and healthcare workers are required to report specific information, which can limit professional discretion. Right. So, yeah, keep in mind that when your kids are in those public schools, everything is being recorded. Um, when you talk to your healthcare provider, you have to be careful what you tell them all the time, because if you say something else hurts, they'll blame something else so that they don't have to pay you, right? They will write everything in their notes, and like a year later they'll say, oh well, over here you said this, so we're not going to pay you, right? So so keep that. You have no freedom in your health, in your healthcare either. You do if you pay for it yourself, but if you depend on these services, you're only going to be limited. You'll be limited to what they offer, and that's it. Uh, There's environmental regulations. While protecting the environment, these regulations can restrict land use and development, affecting property rights and personal choices. So I don't think they really protect the environment at all. Uh, they say they do, uh, but at the same time, they do a lot of stupid things like spraying. Like over here, the problem is that they spray all these chemicals for like mosquitoes, and they kill everything else at the same time. The next day, I'll find dragonflies dead on the floor. That's not cool. That's not cool because those are the things that actually kill the mosquitoes. So what are you essentially doing? Is you're hurting everything. Right? It's kind of like any antibiotic in your body. It's the same concept that they have, right? Oh, in order to kill the bad, we got to kill all the good too, and that's not really a good way to go. And if you want to look at it from a Zcash pirate perspective, that's the same thing. You know, Zcash wants to kill the good with the bad, right? Where pirate is like, yo, just kill the bad. Get rid of all the bad. We're just gonna have privacy in the story. That's the good stuff, right? Where
Hey,
where Zk
Captain.
where Zcash is like, well, we need to kill everything. We need the strong, potent stuff to kill everything, so that everybody's protected from. That's how they protect you. They kill everything. They kill your privacy, and and they take control, right? They take full control. There is no privacy on Zcash. There's security, right? Security is a level of privacy. It's privacy is either you have it or you don't. If you
Hey,
don't, if you don't have privacy, you have security, a level of security, right? So yeah, everything's transparent on Zcash, but do you really have privacy? No. It's just a level of security. If they do give you a little bit, that's just some security. That's not real privacy.
hey,
It's either the ball's in the hoop or it's not.
hey, Captain. Let me ask you a question. Right now, I've been thinking about it, looking at the Zcash situation, and all the everything, and I'm like, do you really believe that that's uh traders and people who are interested in owning Zcash and believe in Zcash? Is there that many people out there believing that shit, or is that being backed and risen up by banker money or something?
All fiat is banker
You
money.
there?
All fiat is banker money.
Yeah, I'm
It's
saying, but
made for
it's
the
hard for
banks,
me to
maybe.
believe that people. It's hard for me to people really don't understand the concept of Zcash and what you just described.
It's not. It's not.
I can't.
Yeah, well, because they don't understand tokenomics. They don't understand, you know, inflation versus deflation on currencies, right? It's basically supply and demand, right? Just gotta understand supply and demand, right? If your government keeps printing more money, you know, you're gonna have less value in your pocket. It's just it is what it is, and they just keep printing and printing, and your money just keeps going down and down. Your paycheck don't go up, right? The amount of money you make every week don't go up, but everything's costing more money. That's a big problem. The money that if you think you're saving money, the money you're saving is going down in value every day, every time they print money, right? What's the point? What are you doing? You're not doing anything. It's like a pointless life to live. If that's the life you're living, oh, I'm going to save some money. What are you going to save? In 10 years, maybe you'll be able to buy an ice cream with that money, the way things are going. $12 for 12 eggs? You want drugs? That's not right.
My wife, every time she comes back from the grocery store, Captain, she says just that little bit right there was $275. I'm like, God, dog,
Yeah,
just a few
yeah,
bags, man,
yeah. I can't
just a
walk
few
it.
bags of
Yeah.
groceries, two hundred
Yeah.
dollars.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
see how people.
why I, getting my migration down down to Brazil, even with all of Brazil's problems. It's just the cost of living in the U.S. has just gotten so insane, and it's like you were saying, like, and that's just for a couple bags of groceries. Yeah, that's not counting if you got a car payment, a mortgage on top of that, if you got
Mhm.
health insurance costs, all that, it's just like, you need a like 6-figure salary just to, have a, you know, even like a lower middle class life there.
Yeah.
Um, things are just, insane. It's just beyond insane.
And then out of left field, they'll hit you with a water bill, a water and sewer bill because they forced us to put in the water and sewer. I had one of those what are those called in the ground
Hydrants,
sept, septic system.
fire hydrants.
I
Oh,
had
septic tanks.
yeah septic tank. That's right. I had two of them in the ground. They worked fine. But New York mandated that everybody on the block has to switch to water and sewer there and pay them to do that. And we had to pay for the construction of the cement to get it done. They didn't even pay for that.
And
They
what's a
said
sewer bill? Hey, Captain, just I'm
the
curious.
sewer the
What's
sewer
the
bill
average sewer bill
it started off at $110 and we're at almost $400 many years later now. Right? And that's what happened.
a month? A month?
A
A
month.
month?
Yeah. A month. Yeah.
You're paying $400 a month for sewer?
Yes, sir.
Jesus.
I water my plants a lot.
Well, is that water bill or sewage? Yeah, because there's a lot of places split those two.
It's the same over here.
Okay.
Water and sewer.
Hey, our electric bill here in Texas is normally 190, $200, and our electric bill now is 400, $600 a month. Every month, 400 to 600 a month. Used to
And the
be right at two.
and the electric off the charts, man. I can't even mine anymore because it's just too goddamn expensive. We're at like 27 cents. It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
a lot of
ridiculous.
that has to do with, the AI stuff that they've been pushing, especially in Texas, but other places as well. I mean, the costs everywhere gone up for electric, but like, yeah, I know Texas specifically, it has a couple of those big facilities, so that really skyrocketed the price. And the thing that's crazy is that it's not like the US doesn't have like the space or the means to generate a bunch more electric. It's just they don't. Well, namely because like regulation. Like I used to work in the nuclear industry, and if everything went according to plan, it would take 10 years to put up a nuclear plant. And that's if everything goes according to, and that's not like the building time. The building time, you can get that up in like 2, 3 years. All the rest is just regulation crap. I mean, obviously with like nuclear, you got to be a bit safer, but like, you know, putting a solar farm in New Mexico or Arizona, like that doesn't, that's not gonna, require some massive oversight or anything, and they just don't do it. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, it seems like the government's purposely trying to squeeze people. People were getting too comfortable, and so they're like, "Oh, let's make everyone suffer." Yeah,
Hey, Paulie,
What else
you're
is
hey,
new?
what you're talking on that those government regulations on these projects? That's exactly what they do right there. And guess what else they do? They take a guy or a group of people who are investors and want to do a project, and they make them apply and do all this regulation bullshit. And then it takes, and they have to put up a lot of their money up front, and then they're in it for 5, 10 years. They could be in it for 10 years just to build a road or something. And then at the end of the 10 years, get denied, and they got 10 years invested in it, all that money invested in it, and then they deny it. And that's squeezing them. That's exactly what they do. They squeeze the shit out of everybody, and we take it. I'll be quiet.
I love your passion, brother.
yeah,
No, it's just insane. We're not going to be able to get anywhere like that, guys. We can't. We can't. That's the state. Listen, guys. The governments in every country, they think they are our master, and they think that we are their slaves. And we don't have to live like that. I mean, we can peacefully figure something else out, can't we?
That's what crypto is all
I
about.
mean, I'm serious.
That's what I put.
Maybe
I mean,
not.
who wants? Go ahead.
Like I said, maybe not peacefully. Because, well, I'll give you an example of what's happening down here right now. So Brazil is like, borderline communist country. I hate it for that, but it's cheap, so I just stay out of their stuff. But
What's your electric bill, Foley?
oh, it's not much here. I babe, how much does the electric cost here? Like 200 rise? Like 200 rise, which is like, let's see. Oh, dollars? Okay, so like, 150, $200. Sorry.
See,
So,
electricity is just high everywhere, and that's what I used to pay a long time ago.
yeah, and we're, blasting AC because I'm right on the equator here. So, like, you kind of need to, or at least I need to, because I'm not used to this temperature. But where I was getting with that, like, yeah, can we make this transition peacefully? Like, I don't think so. So for instance, something crazy is going on here right now. Um, Down in Rio, um, so Rio has tons of gangs and stuff, like, gangs that are like small armies in themselves, right? And the governor down there was like, hey, we got to stop this, arrest people and all that stuff. There's been like massive firefights and stuff there. Like over 100 people are dead there right now. And the
Wow.
federal government comes in and they're like, they're defending these gangsters. They're like, oh, it's the drug users are the ones who are really victimizing the drug dealers. They literally, like the president of Brazil, literally said
What?
on TV,
Wow.
and they refuse to provide any aid to the state, I guess is what you call of Rio, um, to deal with this stuff, like. And they literally, like, the politicians are going down there and taking their photo ops and stuff, and they're like seriously siding with the gangsters. So it's like when you're dealing with people like this, there's no really, there's no peaceful way to do this. Like you're not gonna, there's a meme that's been going around. It's like how much of leftist discourse is just them pretending not to understand things, like. And that's exactly what's happening here. So, like, you know, and seeing to tie this back to your points, like, can we do this peacefully? Yeah, I just don't see how we can if, like, these people are so far, delusional that, like, they're not even, in reality about, like, the consequences of their policies. So, yeah, that's what what I have to say about that. Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to do it peacefully. I think it's gonna come to a head here, and well, we'll see what happens here tomorrow for the U.S. folks. Um, you know, um,
Oh, you heard that November 1st deal too, as
yeah,
well?
yeah. It's
Yep.
well, I've been seeing all the stuff there too.
I'm watching it as well. And listen, guys, if what I see is this, I see them taking our technology that we're creating, that's brilliant and can change the world and it can bless and benefit everyone and make us more freer. And they're trying to take it and they're trying to weaponize it against us. And we cannot allow that to happen. So if you are a zombie, get your head out of your goddamn ass and let's get in this war and let's win this fucker.
Hey, well, crypto is supposed to be our defense. Let's get back to the topic here real quick, guys. So, other ways you're a zombie, uh, public health measures, mandatory vaccinations, quarantines, and other public health measures limit your freedoms for your collective safety, right? The same old Same old excuse, right? Oh, we're keeping you safe, right? As they kill everybody. Uh, urban planning, zoning laws, right? You want to build a fence, you want to put a new shed in, you got to ask permission for everything. You're a slave. You're a zombie already. Uh, Cultural policies. Governments may promote and suppress certain cultural practices, influencing personal and collective identities. Right. So, yeah, this whole thing these days with everybody's the same. Everybody's absolutely not the same. Okay, my Italian tradition does not cross over into a Jewish culture. It doesn't cross over into any other culture, right? Your culture doesn't cross into mine. Your Indian culture, whatever it might be, it's not. We are not the same. We all grew up different, right? But it doesn't mean we can't teach each other things. Uh, but we are.
Imagine how sick and boring it would be if we were all the same, man. How
Yeah,
fucking depressing would that be?
imagine if I didn't
It
have this
sucks.
great accent. Imagine if I didn't have this Brooklyn accent, right? I mean, that's our culture. That's where we come from, right? Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, Captain, real quick. Hey, whoa, Captain, real quick. Before we go, give us the Brooklyn. You're killing me over here.
Why you breaking my balls? I gotta call Mario. Does Mario have to call Mario? What's going on over here? All right, guys. Little Brooklyn for you today. Uh, Thank you for joining us today. Uh, Stay tuned because we are about to have Komodo Exchange live with a special interview and the Komodo updates that we do every single week. So stay tuned. Every Friday, your butt should be here inside Komodo, listening live and participating. And come in here and learn something. Right? We don't stop you from asking questions. You can just open your mic. We don't stop anybody from asking questions. Right? Us old people want to teach you. Right? And we don't have to teach you, but we're here because things are going in a very bad direction these days. Right? And we need to bring that old cypherpunk back. All right, guys, this is Luch and Canada the Great. We love you all. Signing out.